Welcome back. You are in the kitchen, and we're serious about this. Jerry Juno was nice enough to bring me the hat and the special privileged, I would say, apron here that we've got going on.
Looks great on you.
Oh, thank you. That distinguishes you as one that knows a thing or two about Cafe Rio. So I'd like to think that after this segment, I'll be able to, maybe make some of the stuff up at home. Do you think? Is this possible?
It's possible. You can even, if you go online, everybody's trying to find out what's in our recipes too. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So Jerry Juno, he is the head trainer with Cafe Rio's craft facility, and we have to my sides, I have Elsa right here on the left, Jenny on the right. You guys are going to be helping us out this morning, right? Cool. Well, welcome to the show, you guys. So pleased to have you here. We're going to be making 4 different things this morning. First up, before we get into that, mention what is craft, this craft facility. This is awesome that this is right here. Of course, Cafe Rio is a homegrown Utah business, and now you've got this new facility here.
That's right. Well, we opened it in April, and to understand what we did, Cafe Rio has 63 restaurants now, and we started back in 1997, and even 10 years ago, all we had was 6 restaurants. So we're in 11 states, and so we had to figure out a way to get the recipes right at every single restaurant. And you can have 2 different people, the same ingredients and the same recipes, and the products are going to taste different. So really, what we're doing at the Craft Institute is all about the technique of food, and that's what we teach there.
How important is that? You kind of touched on it, but these little variances or differences can mean, a difference between tasting one way at one restaurant.
Absolutely.
I've experienced that actually, because not with Cafe Rio, but with certain restaurants, I'm like, this tastes different than at this one than the other one, or oh, that Frosty's better at that Wendy's than the other one. So you guys are trying to fix those.
Yeah, we're trying to get the restaurants to be serving the same flavor profile, and we're always going to have some differences because of the nature of fresh food. The peppers are hotter sometimes than others. The lettuce gets a little different depending on the time of year. So there's always going to be some differences, but we want to make sure that the flavors are as close as possible in every restaurant.
So I know we have lots of these Cafe Rio restaurants here in Utah. Does this mean that some of their employees will be trained, or is it just new and upcoming employees? How exactly does that work?
Well, it's both. Okay. What we've done since we opened in April is we've taken restaurant managers in every restaurant through, along with a key position called sauce cooks. Elsa is an example of a sauce cook. That's a key position in our restaurants, and they're really responsible. It's like a sous chef to make all the flavors. And what's interesting about our food is that they make certain ingredients, and then those ingredients become ingredients in other parts of our recipes. So it's a fairly complex process.
Very cool. Well, that's awesome. We'll talk a little bit more about that during this segment. But first off, we've got, is this butter we've got in here?
This is margarine, right? And what we're doing is we're doing caramelized onions.
Okay.
And we melt our margarine down, and then what I just added here was garlic.
Ooh.
Fresh garlic. And so what we do is we saute the garlic in the butter, and this becomes the base for our caramelized onions. And so we keep going here until the garlic turns kind of a golden brown.
Ooh, that smells yummy.
Isn't it good?
It does, it does.
And once it's golden brown, and then we'll add our onions in just a moment. And this is about a 45-minute process in our restaurants that we do every day.
Wow.
And this ingredient, the next day, goes into our medium sauces. And so we're just about there. So why don't you take over on the spoon?
Oh, okay.
And we're going to throw in our onions here.
I'm just mixing this still. Okay.
Now these are freshly chopped yellow onions.
All right.
And stir them quickly so the butter gets all through there.
All right.
That's right.
Am I doing okay, Elsa? Am I doing okay?
Elsa watches her onions. They're very particular about this.
All right.
So get them all saturated, and we turn the heat down low.
Okay.
So right here, there we go. And then we're going to let this go. If it was in the restaurants, about 45 minutes. But we're going to talk a little bit more about what we do with the onions more quickly here. So that's very nice.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Very nice.
So this is, like you said, it's kind of a layering process with the various recipes that you put together, and that's really important to getting that taste that you
Absolutely. And our recipes are designed to have layers in them, so you taste different things in different parts of the experience. Now, for example, these onions will go into what we call a medium sauce. It's not hot and it's not mild, and it starts with a sweet flavor, and then at the very end of the taste, you get kind of a burn to it. So.
I got some
That's
off
okay.
the edge.
That's okay.
Sorry.
So let me show you. Now how we cook these onions. Okay, what we do in the restaurants to keep the onions cooked evenly is we're just about done with the spoon, and then we do what we call an onion flip.
Okay.
So it's like an omelet. So you take the onions like this, right, and then you flip them so that the bottom onions come to the top.
And this is much better than stirring.
Yes, it is, because the onions will cook more evenly,
okay,
right? And you don't want to press them down, so we avoid burning. The onions have a nice, even flavor to them as they cook.
Nice.
So you want to give that a shot? Try to flip those onions?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love to see you do it.
It's kind of heavy. Okay, so you're like shaking it?
Yep, just like an onion. Very good, yeah.
It didn't really move. Elsa, can you do this? Better than I can?
She can do it. She's a master at this.
Oh man, that's not working out. Elsa, do you want to show us a good one? Can you?
Give us a flip, Elsa.
Okay, give us a flip, because mine didn't work out too well. So that's actually all these little techniques you're teaching. Oh, there she goes.
There
She's
she
got
is,
that
yep.
much better than I do. Nice job, Elsa. Looking pretty good. So it's little techniques like that you're teaching them as they come through to help them work that.
Well, it's a huge challenge to work with fresh food. You know, many restaurants have commissaries that do some of the cooking first. Then it comes to the restaurants. I know. It's harder than it looks.
You do have to show me how to do that for reals eventually. Was there like a sort of, I push it forward then back?
Push it forward, it comes up, and then right back over.
Oh, I'm kind of...
There, see? Very nice.
I did it. Nice.
Very nice.
Ah, cool. All right. So continue, we're going.
You think of the challenges of working with fresh food. You know, we don't cook anything in advance. We have no microwaves and no freezers in our restaurants. So we start with bags of flour, fresh onions, whole tomatoes, which we'll show you a little bit later. And basically, we teach our people techniques, just like chefs would learn at a chef school, to cut, chop, mix, blend, flip, so that the restaurants are really cooking from scratch all the way to our finished recipes. As far as I know, we're the only company that's ever gone, you know, we're in 11 states and we're going to eventually be national without changing who we are by changing what we do. It's really neat.
That's amazing. So wonderful. All right, so we've tried the onions.
Yep.
Are we going to, what's its next?
We're going to actually let Elsa take over on the onions here.
Okay,
So Elsa's
Elsa.
going to continue to work on those.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is actually do guacamole. So I'm going
Nice.
to move this away here.
We can just sit that back there
Yep,
if you want.
set this back here.
Okay, so guacamole, what makes your guacamole so special?
Well,
Because it's pretty darn good.
you know, I'll tell you a secret. When I've worked at other Mexican fast food chains years ago, and the guacamole all came in pre-made. You know,
Okay.
at one restaurant I worked at, it actually came in these tubes that looked like a caulk gun, and you
Okay.
shot the guacamole onto the sandwiches. You know, again, you know, part of what we are is that we want everything fresh, and so we start with importing or avocados, and we have a whole food chain associated with this, and so the secret to great guacamole is you start with great avocados.
How do you know if it's good?
So, well, you take your finger and you push just a little bit. You should give just a little. See?
Okay, yeah, I feel it. That's perfect.
Right? And then, you know, another secret is that there's a little stem on the top. If those pop off,
Yep.
it tends to be ripe. And once we get these in the restaurants, when they're like this, we may have 2 or 3 days we can use them before we can't use them anymore. So it's very important we get them in, they're right upon delivery, and then we use them very quickly in our restaurants. So when you have guacamole at Cafe Rio, it was made that day. It's very cool. So
And you can tell.
Oh
when you
yes,
taste that.
absolutely you can.
Great.
And so let me show you here a little bit about how we do this.
Okay, we're taking all of them out?
Take them all out,
Okay.
and we're gonna show you how we cut avocados and how we press them through. And so, if you'd like, there's a cutting glove right down here.
Okay.
Okay. So if you would slip that on, please. I don't want anybody to get hurt here.
All right.
And then you throw a glove right on top.
That's
of that.
interesting. I didn't know these existed.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
like chainmail.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? Just like
It
you were.
makes sense, right?
Just like you were, fighting in a sword in the stone contest. You know, there's no
Awesome.
horses.
Now I
but-
know where to go to if I need one of these.
Right.
Cafe Rio.
And Elsa has a glove there for
Okay,
you. You can
can
put
you
it
help
right
me?
over that.
Okay. I guess I'm having a hard time with this. Okay, there we go.
That's
you
good.
can tell I've never done this myself at all, and you guys are pros at it, not me. I can't even put the gloves
So she's
on.
going to throw that one on there for you.
Oh, on this?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
So that when you hold the food, you actually hold it in the glove over
Okay.
the mesh.
That's kind of a process.
You get used to it. You get used to
I'm
it.
kind of stuck.
And that's-
Where's my other finger?
And actually, that's good for
Oh,
now.
there
You
it is.
Yeah, you can just slip it on there.
Okay, I think I got it. All right.
Very
so what
nice.
do I do?
So you start with an avocado, right? And here, you can hold this knife, and if you want to grab another
Hold it for a
avocado.
second. Almost done, guys. We want to make this real as we can get it. Okay. All right. I think that's good enough. There we go.
Grab that avocado. Are you right-handed?
Yes.
So grab it in your left hand, all right?
Okay.
Take the knife. Okay, start on the large part of the avocado.
So up on the top?
Yep, and then you're going to slice into it, and you'll feel the avocado pit inside, and
feel it.
circle the entire avocado. And then when you're done, the avocado will split open.
Okay.
See, just like that. That's called the nut of the avocado.
Oh,
Then
that's a big deal for me that I just did that.
Then take your knife, go like this, put it right into the
Okay.
nut, twist it, and pop it right out of there. Look at that.
That's pretty smooth.
That's
I like
cool,
that.
isn't it?
It is cool.
Okay, and so then what you do is you have the avocado here, and then
Can't get
you
my-
grab a spoon
my thing
here,
off.
and I'll
Can
do
you get
this.
it off for me? Thank you.
I'll do this first on this one. And then, this is the fruit of the avocado.
you.
And avocados are actually a fruit.
Okay.
Start on the large section, circle your spoon around the inside, and you're popping the fruit right out of the avocado.
Wow, you cleaned that out good.
Yeah, it's cool.
All
so
right.
give that a shot.
Okay.
That is very nice.
Look at that, guys. Look at that.
Very nice. You want to do
Awesome.
one more there?
Oh, I left a little bit in there. Okay, there we go.
Do one more there.
one more.
And then I'll do one, and then we're going to show you how we press guacamole.
This is great because these are just, well, now that I know them, they're like, oh, these are simple little kitchen tricks for those of us like me who, don't cook that often. And when I learn these things, they're really helpful.
And what we're doing as craft is we're teaching technique.
Mm-hmm.
The recipes are all written down. We don't expect people to memorize them, but we do want them to understand and be able to perform different techniques. So our food, again, tastes the same everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you take the avocados and you put them right up on here and you press them through. And I only have one gloved hand on, so I'm going to do it right here. But press it right through.
What does that do? That's just to...
Yep, and that's gonna turn the avocado.
I want to show this. So we're like basically just smashing it on here.
Smash it right
Doesn't matter
through.
what way.
It's all about the power.
This is not working as good. Okay, there we go. Nice. Ooh, nice and gooey and green.
Yep, so do those other two, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done.
Okay. All right, got it.
Okay, so pop that out here, and then
Get the side off.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Now, if you take a look at the avocado that's left,
They're like little chunks.
It's very chunky, right? And so and then we mix this with seasoning,
Okay.
and that becomes our guacamole. So if you look at that, some of it's smooth and silky, and some of it is chunky. And the way you know you get fresh guacamole is there's always chunks in it. So if you ever get guacamole that's really smooth and creamy, it was made a long time ago. Yeah. So that's how you can tell that ours is fresh.
All right, I'm gonna be checking this every time I'm out at a restaurant now, so I know.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well,
So,
what's next?
what we need to do is we had to add a little seasoning to the guacamole. And we're only going to just add a little bit. And this is just garlic and salt. And then take your hands and mix that all around.
Oh, okay. And usually I guess this would be much more full.
Oh, absolutely.
But we're just doing a little bit right here. All right, so see that? Mushing it all up together.
So that's
I'm not used to mushing stuff together like that.
and that's our fresh guacamole, made multiple times every day. It's very cool. And what's fun about guacamole is whenever we bring out a fresh pan of guacamole, you'll see our customers on the line and they'll look at us, and then all at once they start ordering it like crazy.
Really?
Because they can tell when it comes out that it's fresh.
Nice.
And so again, multiple times a day. And so the secret to great guacamole, you start with great avocados. And again, like everything else, it's fresh. Made daily at Cafe Rio, and we want it to be the same in every restaurant. And this recipe is fairly easy, but it's super important that we get it right.
Does that look good, guys? Does that look good? Would you eat that? I would, but I think we'll go. Are we done with the guacamole now?
We're done with the guacamole.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, what will we be making?
We're going to do tortillas when we come
Oh,
back.
I'm excited about this. Something to put my guacamole in. All right, that's coming up here in just a minute with Cafe Rio. You are back in the kitchen with Cafe Rio, my friend Jerry. We also have Jenny and Elsa helping us out this morning.
Yep.
You are making me into a Cafe Rio chef. So we just finished, I flipped some onions if you missed it. Kind of a big deal because I don't know how to do that. And I got a little flippage in there. And then we also did some guacamole, and now we're doing tortillas. Honestly, this is probably my favorite thing about Cafe Rio. I love your tortillas
Everybody
so much.
loves our tortillas. And when I first moved to Utah, one of the things people told me about was this tortilla show that goes on in all the restaurants. In every restaurant, we make tortillas fresh from flour, water, shortening, a little seasoning, all day long. So we make multiple batches, and we have people that hand roll and cook the tortillas every day, all hours, all days.
Oh,
so when
good.
you eat a tortilla at Cafe Rio, it was cooked within the last, usually 30, 45 minutes, and it's a very traditional Mexican product. So this is one we cooked this morning. We don't have a comal here, which is a...
See how good that is?
Yeah. Isn't that good?
Get a close-up on that beauty.
Very cool.
They're delicious.
They're just awesome. They're awesome. And everybody loves our Cafe Rio tortillas. So what we want to do is, we can't cook them here today, but we want to give you a chance to roll them like we do in the restaurants.
Awesome.
And so
okay.
Just throw that up there. And then this is Elsa. And Elsa's one of our tortilla experts. And so let's throw some flour over on this cutting board.
Okay.
We're going to do a little bit of
Wanna
a
do that for me?
tortilla smackdown.
Am I using this one or is Elsa?
You can use that one.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Elsa.
watching Elsa, we start with a ball of dough.
Okay.
Okay. And then if you watch Elsa, you go back and forth on the dough.
Back and forth.
Yep,
You want to hold my board
I
for
sure
me?
will.
Thank
back
you.
and forth on the board.
Back and forth, and then she flips
Then
it.
flip it sideways. Turn it
Oh,
sideways,
sideways.
like this.
Oops.
Right. Roll it again, and
And that makes sense.
Yeah,
to
we're
do it
going for a
sideways.
12-inch circle tortilla.
Was that right?
Yep, that's
Okay.
right. And now you can just keep roll it a little bit, and then flip it one more time.
Ooh, that's getting kind of difficult for me to turn. She's beating me.
Actually, I think
How
that
is this
looks-
happening?
I think that looks like the state of Utah. So I think you're being
Gosh.
inspired here.
Oh, whoops, that was 3 rolls. All
There
right,
you go.
whoa, Elsa, look at that. Look
Yeah,
at
look at
that
El-
handiwork
Elsa's-
that she's doing. Oh, crap. What happens when that happens?
There's a little bit more flour on the roller.
Okay.
And
Should I grab a little more flour?
a little more flour,
Thank you, Elsa.
and then just throw
On my roller
a
or
little
on
bit
here?
on top of the tortilla is fine.
Okay,
And then
sorry.
just a couple more shots.
Okay. 1. I have to go a little bit slower for
Flip it
me.
one more time.
Man, you have to have some good, quick hand action
Absolutely,
on that.
and
to
some
make that
solid
happen.
shoulder
You
muscles.
do.
I mean, people will do this 8 hours a day in our restaurants. They'll make thousands of tortillas. I think we
believe it.
calculated, and sometimes we'll go through as many as 4,000 tortillas in a restaurant. Each one hand rolled, just like that.
That's amazing. Well, I think this is as good as it might get for me right now. So what's next?
Well, let me just talk a little bit about the finished tortilla,
Yeah.
right? A great tortilla, and again, these have been carried here, but they'll have air bubbles in them, and they have a lot of flavor because we had seasoning, and they're very light. And when you eat a tortilla that's fresh, it doesn't weigh down in your stomach. It tastes really good. And a bad tortilla, if these spots are too dark, the tortilla can taste sour, or if they don't mix the recipe right, it won't rise properly.
You guys are really precise
Absolutely.
about what you do.
It's got to be right. It's got to be right. And this is another one of the things we do in craft. We teach the technique of tortilla rolling. So when you go to the restaurants and you see through the window, people rolling that tortilla, remember, it's tough. It's tough.
And it's a well-learned technique.
It is.
I can attest to that.
It is.
It takes
It is.
a little training, absolutely.
Yep.
Very cool.
All right, so that's tortillas. We got one more thing we want to show you today. And so
Cool.
if you want to take that down, we're going to bring up some more fresh product here. We're going to bring up some tomatoes.
Awesome.
Another thing that Cafe Rio is known for is the quality. Put this back here, is the quality of our pico de gallo salsa. And so we make pico de gallo salsa fresh every day in the restaurants, and it has a number of different fresh ingredients. These are Roma tomatoes, and I don't know if you know much about tomatoes, but
Nope.
Roma tomatoes, it's a plum tomato. It's not good for sandwiches because it doesn't slice pretty. Like those big beefsteak tomatoes have these
Yeah.
beautiful slices. These are all really about the color and the flavor. And so we don't care about slices, we chop them, and they go into our pico de gallo dressing. And so what I want to do is give you a chance to, is there a knife over here, ladies? Here we
I
go.
had a knife in the first
There you go.
segment. There
If you want to take a look here, and I don't have a
And we
cut
have
though.
about 1 minute left.
Okay, I just want to
So
show you
let's-
real fast. Okay, if you look inside, that's a beautiful tomato.
Ooh,
and that's exactly how our tomato
looks
should
good.
look. And so our pico de gallo has fresh tomatoes, and then
Okay.
back over here we have also fresh cilantro.
Yummy. I love the smell of cilantro.
We have, these are the power behind our pico de gallo. These are serrano peppers.
Ooh,
And
serrano peppers.
These bad boys are really hot, So we're
oh,
very
okay.
careful how many we put in, but we put these in a lot of our recipes, fresh serranos. And then when we're done, the pico de gallo dressing, after we mix everything together, looks like this.
Here it is.
So that's a
Yummy.
finished
Let's pull
product
that
right
up.
there.
Delicious.
that
it
awesome?
smells so fresh. It's just delicious. And I want to remind everyone, you guys do catering, it's football season. There's a lot of fun things going on. How do
Absolutely.
we go about doing that?
Well, they call 1-800-CAFE-RIO, and we'd be happy to set up catering for 3 or for 20, and they'll give you all the options on the phone. And all of our products are made fresh right before we bring it. So it's the same thing you get in the restaurants.
Very cool.
Very fresh right at the time of ordering.
And
So
you have a new location. Is it there in Heber already or coming up?
it's coming up in Heber City. It opens up
awesome.
October 16th. It's right on the Walmart pad, so we're very
cool.
excited about it.
Ah, that's so exciting. Well, Jenny, Elsa, thanks. High fives. Thanks for helping me out. I couldn't have done it without you. And thank you so much, Jerry. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I just got a hand powder thing on his back with my, but sorry about that.
That's
we'll
awesome.
have to test that out.
part of the deal.
Thank you so much for joining us here. Cafe Rio Online, what's your website?
CafeRio.com.
Very good. Thank you so much. You guys learned a lot this morning. Hope you guys did too. We'll be right back after this quick break. Sandbox Theater will be joining us.